Hello everyone, welcome back to the live virtual classes for strategic management. My name is Sierjit Sethi. I'm very happy to see you on a Saturday morning. I see a lot of you have already joined, so very happy to see the punctuality. And I have some questions, opening questions in the chat as well. But I would really request all of you to use the chat in the BOS app or the portal that you see. Okay, you can post your questions there. So we'll be really happy to take up the questions there. All of you who are saying good morning, a very good morning to you as well. Okay, one interesting question from Nistala is, please explain pricing dynamics. I'll take that up very quickly. Okay, then another question was, what is the relationship between value chain analysis and margin? Great question again. We are going to start with that topic, so I would probably explain that there as well. Okay, so quick understanding of what is pricing dynamics. Pricing dynamics is nothing but how you switch your prices or how you change your prices in relation to what's happening in the market. Okay, so if the competition is increasing the prices, you can increase the prices too, right? That gives you more ability to increase your prices as well and make more money. Or if you think that the competitor is increasing prices and you decrease the prices, and then eventually that leads to what? That leads to basically you winning the market share. So the pricing dynamics are basically how you, in relation to your competition, in relation to your product premium, if your product is really, really good, you can go and charge an extra money from the customer. All these factors and many more, right? It could be an MRP change, government regulation, everything within the pestle analysis or the internal, like a SWOT analysis. You can charge money for your strength. If there's an opportunity, if there's a threat, you reduce your prices, right? So these are all the dynamics that a company would probably look after when it's pricing its product. So all these things are pricing dynamics, okay? Aditya, I think we are not allowed to do that on Zoom, so you can't like unmute and mute yourselves. You should use the BOS portal for all the questions. That's what the mandate is. So let's stick to that, please. I'll be happy to answer all the questions, but the BOS app or the portal for the questions, okay? Very nice. Great. These were just the two opening questions. So maybe let me do one thing very quickly here is that we go directly to a quick revision. We want to finish chapter 2 today. This is our last class for chapter 2. From tomorrow, we would start chapter number 3. So we want to finish chapter number 2 today. We just have two topics left. One is Michael Porter, and the last one is key success factors, or probably how do you win competition, competitive dynamics. We can complete that today for sure. Okay, very nice. Okay, Pranav says some teachers are using Zoom chat, so if I can request the tech team, well, I can request for sure, but I've been told that BOS app is where you have to post your questions. So maybe let me get that sorted by tomorrow. Let's see what the board of studies decides, okay? But I think you can still use the chat and I can probably talk to you on the chat as well, which is the BOS chat, not the Zoom chat. Okay, very nice. A quick revision of chapter number 2, okay, where we were, what we have been studying. We were studying SWOT analysis, competitive analysis, market analysis, how Netflix did that, right? The OTT platform. The strategic analysis use case is one, industry and competitive conditions. It tells you about that. It helps you understand your own SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Then it takes you to two kinds of risks, okay? The two kinds of risks that you see when you do an strategic analysis is external short term or external or internal. Then within external, you have either the short term impact or the long term impact. When you do a strategic analysis, there can be an internal long term impact or an internal short term impact. Really depends on what kind of thing is happening. If the environment is changing altogether, it is long term external. If your interpretation of the environment is wrong, it is short term external. If the capacity is unable to meet the demand, you projected that you won't be successful, but you are highly successful. That's a short term internal risk to your strategy. If the if the entire plan, the entire organization goes through a change, then that's a long-term internal risk to a strategy. So you strategize, you will grow 10x in 2 years. The business itself did not fly. The people changed, investors changed, banks started asking for more loans. So bank said, "मैं तो loan दूंगा ही नहीं. I won't give you the loan." Long-term internal risk, things in the organization, internal challenges. These are long-term internal risks. Okay. Very nice. Then we were talking about interpretation of the environment, each of those. Then we went on to understand why and how does strategy and business environment come hand in hand. Okay, so determining opportunities and threats in the environment come through strategy analysis. It gives you direction for growth, continuous learning provide karta hai. It helps in image building and helps in meeting competition. Okay, determines opportunities and threats, gives direction, continuous learning, image building, and meeting competition. Question here to you, my friend, is how does strategy helps building an image? Okay, chat is open for you. The BOS chat is open for you. Go and answer. Tell me how does a close interaction between strategy and business environment helps a business to build an image? That's my question to you. Let's see how much are you revising, how much do you remember? How does a continuous interaction between the environment and the business strategy helps the business in making or building an image? How does that happen? I want each one of you who's active in the chat to probably do that. This is your classroom. Okay, so be interactive. Consumer education by teaching that the customer about the product and creating the demand. Absolutely bang on right answer, Tejaswin. Okay. It by educating the customer, they create an image of their brand or company like someone who really cares about their product and the customer. Okay, that is how first mover advantage could be. That creates a great image that these guys are innovators. These guys are the companies who are really changing the way things are. I don't know if you've seen reels these days. Very recently, you would see Elon Musk's Starship rocket coming down in a very cool way. Then he introducing a driverless car. Then he also introduced some humanoid robos. Okay. So these are all first mover advantage. It's nothing to do with you and me. Okay. So probably we won't really be impacted by that in the short term, but it is creating an image for him and his brands that these are innovators. His companies are taking us into the future. He's creating that image. How is he able to do that? Because he understands the environment. What he's saying is, this is what I want to sell people. This is what I want to do in the future. Okay, this is his opportunity. He's done. His strength is innovation. His opportunity is space exploration, and he's building an image around it. That's something you can probably relate while looking at reels as well. Okay. Showing sensitivity to the external environment, absolutely yes. Another way how people build image or brands build images by being environment conscious, telling that we care about the environment, don't choose plastic, using paper bags or recyclable products, bottles, and all of that. Okay. Starlink telephone, yes, that's right. To help understand business environment, which show awareness and responsive to the needs, which is helpful to the customer creation and helpful in image building. That's right, Bhavna. Absolutely. Totally. You guys are right. Okay. Then we studied each of these with an example. You can refer that when I upload the PPT today after the class. You can do that. Okay. Then the question was environment has layers. Can you name them? Okay, there were two layers, which was macro and micro. This chapter was talking about the macro. Macro means far from business, difficult to control, and common for all industries, all business, irrespective. Okay, it has to be common for all. It cannot be specific. If it is specific, then it is a micro environment, right? Your own organization, your own customers, your own competitors, all of these are micro. Macro is which is same for everyone, like a GST rate, like the political party which is ruling the country, or a geopolitical war, or the economic downturn, or the boom in the share market. All of these are common for every industry, every person, irrespective. Okay. That's what it is. Macro environment elements were demographic, social, cultural, economic, political, legal, and technological. Okay. There was five broad segments. We talked about demographics, social, cultural, economic conditions, political, legal, and technological. My question to you is, which of the elements of the macro environment, listen to the question very carefully, which of the following elements of macro environment helps in building a great product? Which element of the macro environment helps a business, a company, an organization, a brand, a startup to build a great product? Which element helps in that? Which element helps in building a great product? Technological, socio-cultural. Okay. What else? I want more answers, my friends. You guys need to be really active on the BOS chat. You need to answer. It's your classroom. Otherwise, it's a boring lecture then if you're not participating in the Q&As. The more you participate, the more you learn. Otherwise, this is just like a recorded lecture. Nothing would come out of it. You got to interact with me, spend 2.5 hours every weekend. The subject is over for you. Okay. Majority people say technological, but the correct answer, my friend, is sociocultural. I saw a very few people giving sociocultural. Okay. Pranav gave sociocultural. Then I saw Ramalakshmi saying sociocultural, Santhia saying sociocultural, Afsal. Okay. Ratimalini, you gave all the options. Okay. Technological and social culture as well. Raman says all. Okay. The correct answer, my friend, is sociocultural. Tejaswin also said sociocultural, right? Now, what happens here is why sociocultural? Because it really tells you the value systems or the beliefs and value systems, which is more like trends. Socio-cultural environment tells you what's happening, what do people currently like, what they are doing. That is your socio-cultural environment. Technological can help you build good product, but a great product is which the consumers want. Okay. I can create a technology which nobody wants. I will still be technologically advanced, but people don't want it. The only element which is telling me what people want is sociocultural element. Okay. Today, let me ask you this. Okay. Let me ask you this very basic question. Now, with that, you'll get the answer. If you are a company, okay, think about this. Look at the current trend around you. Would you create a pair of shoes or sneakers which are really cool? Okay. Would you create a pair of sneakers which are really cool and you can sell it for 2000 rupees because a lot of people would buy at 2000 rupees price point, and great sneakers just looks like Nike sneakers, or the colors are very vibrant, and and you have a great probably visual product. Okay, 2000 rupees, great sneakers, mass market across India, you can even export. Or would you create, or would you create a massive technological advancement, right? Which may be used after 20 years. People don't really need it today. Very great technology, massive technology, but nobody needs it today. We would need it after 20 years. Which one do you prefer as a business you would do? Right? Majority people say sneakers. The first one is great. Option one, sneakers, right? I want more answers. Friends, let's be active on the chat, okay? Sneakers. ये कोमल says sneakers बेचेंगे हम तो. Satya says damn speakers, अपना sneakers बेचेंगे 2000 रुपए के. We'll send it to 100,000, that is 1 lakh people. 2000 into 8 lakh, I'll be like 20 crores, 20 crore का business बना देंगे हम, right? Massive opportunity. Majority people say sneakers. Why? Why is your brain saying sneakers? Because social cultural, my friend, not technological. You know what do people really like today? People are crazy about sneakers today. 2000 rupees price point. So many people are gonna buy those sneakers, right? So many people will buy at 2000 rupees. If it looks just like Nike, great product, great quality, you do the right marketing through social media or word of mouth or through distribution in every shop or online on a Flipkart, Amazon, Meesho, Myntra, wherever you want to sell it, it's going to be a massive product. So a great product comes from socio-cultural environment, my friend. That's what I was trying to tell you. Okay. Now you understand it. But how would strategists identify, analyze the impact and strategize these elements? Okay. How would they do this? The simple thing, how would people analyze macro environment is through pestle analysis, political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. Okay, so PESTLE. Pestle analysis helps you, like SWOT analysis is for both internal and external. Pure external, that to only macro environment is analyzed through pestle analysis, which is PESTLE, political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environment. Okay. SWOT is both internal, external. Pestle is only macro. External, that to macro. Okay, very nice. We had some examples, then we were talking about go global. A lot of businesses, we talked about all these here, right? All these brands here, they go global, TCS, Vedanta, Wipro, Airtel, Reliance, blah, 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 blah. And then we also talked about SBI, one of the biggest global banks we have today, right? This is one example of why businesses go global is because they get more customers, higher prices, more like access to global resources, ease of forming strategic alliances. You can form strategic alliances with people outside, and that really helps. Their brands, their countries' brands, and then you get into like Tata Starbucks. Starbucks is not an Indian brand, but they came in India, right? McDonald's came in through a different brand, Indian company. You would see an Indian brand works with McDonald's very closely in the hindsight. Okay, but McDonald's sells their brands. All these big companies, you would see Reliance is bringing a lot of luxury products through an LVMH or I don't know, like Gucci's and all of those big brands come in India through Reliance Retail. Okay, they patch up with Reliance Retail. Reliance has stores, Reliance has distributors, Reliance has workforce. They want to use that established company within India to expand their brand. So they get into strategic alliances with established brands in India, and that's called strategic alliance, my friend. Okay, that is what international or going global means. Like Sheen, okay, Nitin says Sheen is there, set up overseas. Okay, I think it's stable now, my friends. I saw that like there was one dip in voice, but now I think it's back. Internet is everyone's internet is just crazy. Anyway, okay. Set up overseas, lifestyle trends. That's right. Absolutely. That's what's happening. Okay. And then we were talking about the product and industry. This is where we reached was you just look at the logo and you know the brand. You just take a look at the logo and you're pretty clear that, oh, this is what the brand is about. This is what the product is about. So that's what you do. So both Netflix, thumbs up. You look at the thing and you know what this company does, what the price point is. You know the prices, you know what this company does, where it's from, who owns it, who runs it, how does it function. You know everything about this just by looking at the logo. That's called understanding the product and industry. How do you do that? Okay, tangible, intangible, then pricing dynamics. There was a question on this. It's again, competition often sets the market price, but you can also play if the product is great. Product features, what do people really want, right? People really want vibrant colors in your sneakers, or people, okay, Let me ask you this very quickly. Product features for satisfaction. The same sneakers business we started, which of the two colors would you produce more? Okay. Basic question. Basic question. You are the business head of that sneaker company. Would you produce more of white sneakers or would you produce more of black sneakers? Look at the market today, look at the fashion today, and tell me, your product feature will be more of white sneakers in production or black sneakers. Which one would you produce more? बेसिक बिजनेस क्वेश्चन राइट. कौन सा कलर ज्यादा बनाओगे? 99.99 percentage people, right? Which is Dettol's kill rate, 99.99, are saying white sneakers. Okay, just one. Dilip says he wants a black sneakers. Okay, Dilip. Dilip is that one customer which comes to the shop and says, I don't like the entire shop is worth 2 crores. I don't like anything in your shop. I'm just joking, Dilip. Okay. Majority people say white. Okay. Currently white as per the going trend. White and black because both have same demand. Apurva says, okay, maybe black have same demand. Dilip, you have a friend in Apurva. He's saying black की भी equal demand है. ठीक है. Hmm. It says she'll also go with black because white गंदे हो जाते हैं जल्दी. I think don't think from customer, not from yourself. Okay, but that's where the point is. Now each of you really understand. Okay, each of you really understand the trend today is white sneakers. So हम white ज़्यादा बनाएंगे. Now this is product feature. Understanding the industry, understanding the product. It's not rocket science, my friend. Now, it's not something that they do not understand or nobody really understands, but still products fail. Why? My question is, ये तो basic था. This is so basic. This is so basic कि people want white sneakers. You should produce more white sneakers. The price point that people really want is 2000 rupees maximum. General Indian or students or maybe in the age bands of 16 to 21, 22, the young crowd, they're not generally making money. They're still students. They can't really afford thousands and thousands of rupees of shoes. Maybe a sweet price point is like an 1800 or a 2000 rupee shoe, but still brands are not able to crack it. Why? My question to you is, it's an interesting question and it's a great strategy question, which probably you can answer yourself too. Why do you think they're not doing that? The answer is on your screen. I'm just telling you. Why do you think companies are not able to crack the market? A few brands have done that, okay? I won't say they haven't, but majority people, white sneakers, 2000 rupees price point, why aren't people able to crack that market? What do you think? What's happening there? I just saw Rishika saying hazelnut brown also has great scope. Really, hazelnut brown. Okay, first I need to even imagine the color. They're not going by the consumer trend, which is not true, Pranam. Any company would want to go by consumer trend. Quality will degrade and it will not be sold much. Rishika. Great point. Okay. Market trends, technology. Okay. Because they are not able to create demand for their product and also the quality is not good. You guys are getting to the right point, okay? Now let me add one thought to what you guys are saying, that quality or a lot of competition is there, life cycle introducing, satisfaction of the products. That's exactly where you guys are going absolutely right, okay? They don't want to drop their image. Absolutely, my friends, you have just given all the right answers. Now think about this. You are a brand. If you give a 2000 rupee shoe, the quality is gonna be okay. It's not gonna be the best quality shoe that will run for 3, 4 years. In 2000 rupees, you can give a shoe. You want to make money, distribution, salaries, production, all of that. and you still want to market, you will do marketing, you'll give distributors or shops some benefit as well. Now this at 2000 rupees, you can give a shoe which is not very long lasting. You can give a good looking shoe but not very comfortable, or maybe a hard sole or something XYZ. Now the image of your brand becomes that this company sells an okayish shoes. The price point is nice. People would still buy it, my friend. It's not like people won't buy it. But the image of the company will then be, okay? Now, the image of the company will be this company works in a substandard segment. Now, this probably might be an apprehension to a lot of brands. A lot of brands will say, I don't want to create such an image. So that's why they are out. The second good point that just came out of the comments only was product life cycle. The life cycle of white sneakers is at maturity right now. Okay. It introduced, it grew. It's at maturity. Everybody in some shape or form today has a white sneaker. Okay. Most of us would have had it, or we plan to have it very quick, or we already have it. Okay. Majority. I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying majority of people today already have a white sneaker. So the market is at maturity. सबके पास है आज और नहीं खरीदेंगे लोग. Maybe people would want to change. People would move to some other color or design or whatever it is. Okay. The next stage after maturity is decline. The trend is going to decline as per basic understanding. It will stay there for some time and then it will start declining. So why should I invest money in creating white sneakers today? Because the market is already at maturity. Product life cycle, my friend. Product life cycle. Okay. That was what we saw in the comments as well. Competition, maturity stage means a lot of competition as well. That's where the product life cycle again comes into the picture. Absolutely. Satya says people are crazy about sneakers. They are ready to pay high prices. Why should a company not charge high prices? Absolutely, Satya, you're right. People are just like, I don't know. I've seen students who are doing internships. The internship pays them 10,000 rupees. They're buying sneakers worth 22, 23,000. I'm like, how are you buying a pair of shoe from 3 months of your salary? How are you doing that? Okay. But people are doing it. We are not the experts in personal finance. They are somehow. I don't know. But okay, that's not the point. The point is now you understand product industry, product life cycle. Everything comes into your grip now, right? Limited editions creating value for the customer. Yes. I'll take a pause here and ask this. Are you clear about every concept in the chapter till here? Give me a very quick yes or a no so that I know we'll come. Tejas, pivotal means very, very important. Product is the lifeline of the business. और क्या ही करोगे? Business has a lot of things to consider, a strength, opportunity, people, HR, finance, great. But your product is the main thing. If your product is not good, finance can't do anything, HR can't do anything. So product is pivotal means it's of the highest, utmost importance. Awesome. I see good amount of yeses. So awesome. Let's go to where we have to do today is product life cycle, value chain analysis. This is what we're doing. Okay, so here's where we get into our chapter and finish it today very quickly. Okay, great topics upcoming, very interesting, great examples. So let's get into this. Product life cycle, introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Okay, now on your right on the screen, what you see here is a product life cycle story or a business scenario. Okay. Now, every product goes through this. It's just like plant growing. Okay. Like that's we call it product life cycle. Life cycle is plants have, we have a life cycle. So introduction. Now, This is when a new product is created and introduced to people. Like for example, imagine a new toy robot that can dance. Just it just comes into the stores and not many people know about it yet. Okay. Now, this is an introduction. There's a robo which can dance. Okay. Now, this is a new introduction. People don't know about it. They're just in sitting idle in a toy shop or somewhere in the shop. People are not aware about that. This is a new product that has already come into the market. That's called introduction stage. Okay. The second is growth stage. Now, what happens in the growth stage? Growth stage is interesting because if people like the toy robo, more and more start buying mouth publicity. Stores want to have it because it's popular. This is the growth stage where sales go up and the product becomes well known. It was sitting idle in the toy shops. A few people bought it, posted videos, showed it to their friends. It became a viral sensation, and now it is going through a product life cycle where now it's going through growth. Okay. The third is maturity. After you start growing after a while, almost everybody who wants the robot has already bought it. White sneakers, just like white sneakers. Almost everybody who wants it has already bought it. Okay. So now what's happening is stores want to have the stores also say the sales are declining because not a lot of people are buying it again. It was a one-time purchase. So sales start to level off because there aren't many new customers coming in. The old one are starting to go out. New customer inflow kam ho gaya hai, outgoing zyada ho gaya hai. So the net difference is decline of sales. And finally, the product dies. Eventually, new toys come up, new fun entertainment things come up. So people, fewer people keep on buying that particular toy. Eventually, it goes out of business. Okay. And just like the plant grows, blooms, and then withers, products also have their own journey. Same like white sneakers, same like school bags, same like anything that you know. Okay. Earlier, we used to have school bags which were flat and rectangular. Today, we have laptop bags. We have sling bags and laptop sleeves. Things keep changing. So old things keep on dying. New things keep coming up. Okay. Cactus dance toy. That's a great example. Okay. Nitin, the cactus dance toy, when you speak, it also speaks back. We've seen a lot of videos there, but that's a great example because it was a sensation. Everybody wanted to have it, right? But today, maybe everybody saw it already or bought it if they wanted. So it's now out of craze. Introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Okay. Value chain analysis. Now, this is where a lot of people were confused. So I have this for you to understand. Okay. We will spend next 5 minutes on value chain analysis. A lot of people are really confused. ये होता क्या है? Value chain analysis, margin, how is all this interlinked? We don't really understand value chain analysis. So let me help you. Okay. Now, value chain analysis is a way to look at all the steps a company takes to create a product and see how each step adds value or helps the company make money. Very simply, company looks at every step it takes to create a product or a service and see how each step adds value to the overall organization or the consumer and helps the company make money. Now think of it like a relay race where each runner passes the baton along the way until they reach the finish line. So what this means is the procurement team buys the best product, gives it to production. Production creates the best product and gives it to marketing. Marketing does the best marketing and gives it to the distributors. Distributors do the best shelf displacement in their shop and give it to the customer. So each level is putting their best foot forward and passing on the value to the next person. And so that creates an entire value chain. Okay. That's called value chain analysis. Okay. The question is, most of us like pizza, right? The question is, you like pizza? I do. So Let's understand this through an example of making a pizza. Okay. Now, inbound logistics. This is where the pizza shop gets its ingredients like cheese or toppings and all vegetables, right? If the shop finds fresh, high quality ingredients at a good price, that adds value right from the start. Okay. We're doing a value chain analysis for a pizza shop. So what's happening here is inbound logistics, procurement, getting things into the business, inbound logistics, the toppings, the cheese, the dough, the quality of the products is nice. You're getting at the right price. You're getting at the right time. You're getting it from the right source. That's inbound logistics. If that is great, your value starts adding from the very beginning. Second is operations. The next is the pizza shop starts making the pizza. This includes mixing the dough, adding toppings, baking them, right? Grilling them or putting them in the oven. The better and faster they can make, the better and faster they can make, the more value they create for the customer. Customer wants it quick, but customer also wants it to taste good. So if they can solve these two pieces in operations, this is where real action happens, right? That's where they create value. Now the second is outbound. बना तो लिया है, अब उनके घर तक पहुंचाना भी है. After making the pizza, the shop delivers them to the customer. Now, if they have a reliable delivery system, like a good delivery team which is on time, respectful, the product is packed nicely, right? It's not going here and there. It ensures that pizza arrives hot on time, which adds value to the customer. Another layer of value addition. So each layer is doing their best to add value. Final is then marketing and sales. The pizza shop has a lot of people, or it lets the people know about the pizza, right? You do marketing through social media, you do a lot of advertisements, you have delivery partners going on, you have pamphlets in the newspaper, all of that. That's marketing and sales. This step is essential to increase sales. Okay. You're creating value here by creating awareness about your product, the new flavors that you're bringing in, the new desi flavors. You would see a lot of pizza shop today doing a lot of Indian flavors, right? They're doing butter chicken pizza, they're doing a paneer tikka pizza, right? Or soya chop pizza. They're doing this because that's marketing and sales. They are understanding the consumer. They are trying to figure out what the consumer wants, and they're delivering that. Okay, so they're delivering that based on the consumer insight. They're marketing, they're telling them this is what we do, boys. So let's go and try a new flavor, right? This is what the job of marketing team is. That's what they do. They're adding one more value to the customer, that see, we are innovative, we understand your taste buds, we are doing it great. Or they can also do, we have healthy pizzas, like the dough is out of like, I don't know, gluten free or organic or vegan, all of these things. That's marketing and sales. Finally is service. After the customers eat the pizza, the shop might follow up to make sure they enjoyed them and take feedback. Now, good customer service can lead to repeat business and happy customers. So if they take quick feedback, the customer lets them know that I really liked it or I did not like this particular thing. And then they can improve. That's called service. Listening to the customer again adds value to the business. Okay. And by examining each of these steps in the value chain, these are the five primary activities of inbound operations, outbound marketing, sales, and service. You are actually doing what? You are creating value for the customer. Now think about this, okay? Now think about this. Somebody saying Momo pizza as well, right? At Pallavi, there is Momo pizza as well. Okay. Dishika says सुबह सुबह bill बढ़ जाएगा. She'll have to order pizza now. No worries, Dishika. You can. It's weekend. You can spend some money on yourself. That's okay. Okay. It's good to spend some good money on good food. Always an investment. It's not an expenditure. Now, the question, my friend, is very simple. This pizza company or this pizza brand does all of this. Okay, listen to me very, very carefully. This is where the crux of this concept is. This brand does all of this and charges 50 rupees extra than the competitor. So let's say there is P pizza, they give you a large pizza for 500, 600 rupees. That's the market price. They give it for 600 rupees, a large chicken tikka pizza. With this company, what we're talking about right now, with all these 5 layers adding so much value, doing their best, they know we are doing this great, and the customer is going to value that. The customer is going to value that means is going to pay more. So can this company charge 650 rupees by giving an extra value addition to the customer in terms of service, marketing, a quick delivery, great packaging, designer packaging, the operations are nice, it tastes good, the food is fresh, it does not smell bad at any given point in time. Can I charge 50 rupees extra? The question is, can they, by doing all this, charge 50 rupees extra? Yes. The answer is most likely yes. And that is why my friend Domino's charges more money. A general pizza shop, a random pizza shop in your locality would charge pizza for 400, 450 rupees. Domino's charges 600, 700, 800 rupees for a pizza. Why? Because value chain analysis. They have that. They do that. Okay. That's why they charge more money. Exactly. 50 is not too high, but still you're better than the competitor. You're making more sales. Exactly. The customer says, yeah, 50 rupees zyada nahi hai. I can still go with this brand. It's really nice. Okay. You're taking away the market share from other competitors. That's what the business is all about, my friend. This is your strategy. This is business analysis. This is value chain analysis. This is value chain analysis. Dig in, right? Saturdays Dig in Delhi charges more than Domino's because absolutely the quality is good. I've been to Dig in, right? All of them in Delhi. They charge more money because of the environment they have created, the kind of cafe, the kind of interiors they have, the kind of service they have, the kind of food quality they have. They charge almost 1.5 times Domino's as well. Okay, and people are standing there in lines. I have never seen a Dig-in which is empty. Okay. So I'm not doing an advertisement. I'm just saying that's how they are building businesses. We can learn from these businesses. It really depends on the market position in the industry. Not really, Srinivasan. You got to create a market position. It's not a given thing. Okay. Again, if you accept that, oh, okay, I'm not the market leader, other people are doing better than me, then they will always do better than you. Market positioning is for you to build, and we are telling you how you can build that. It will take time. You're right. In the beginning, you can't just go and say, oh, I am 50 rupees more than Domino's, come buy my product. No, it will take time for you to create that awareness. That's the job of marketing and sales, my friend. Specific areas, Tambeshwari says, specific areas, the vada pav rate is about 60 rupees. Somewhere it's 10 rupees. The gap, value chain analysis, my friend. That business which is selling 60 rupees vada pav has done their value chain analysis. Tejaswin is now getting taste buds all. He's like Daryaganj butter chicken and lacha paratha. I'm giving you Saturday, Sunday menus, okay, guys? So you can enjoy your Saturday, Sunday dinners, lunch, wherever. If you're going on a date, go and enjoy some butter chicken or something. Or maybe if you're vegetarian, go for a soya chap. But that's what value chain analysis is, my friend. Okay, adding value to the customer and asking for more money. So we started with a question from, I don't remember the name really. Sorry, but there was a question in the morning. I think it was the Justin or somebody, that it is basically the difference between value chain analysis and margin is value chain analysis helps you make more margin. Okay. The difference is value chain analysis helps you make more margin. Okay. That's value chain analysis. The next big topic, my friend, what we're going to study today is Porter's five forces model. Now, Michael Porter is sometimes called the father of strategy or business strategic analysis, and he devised a theorem, or I'll say a model, which talks about the five forces of competition. Okay? What he talks about is there are five forces of competition in the market, and everything gets diluted within these five forces. The number one is, okay, the number one is the potential of new entrants in the market. If new people start coming into the market, it becomes competitive. Number two, supplier strength. If the supplier is powerful than the buyer, then they have a competitive strength. Okay, and you have to be cautious of it. If the customers are powerful than the supplier, then you have to be cautious again. It's highly competitive. Threat of substitutes. If the substitute products come into the market, your market will face a lot of competition. Be aware of that. Number five is rivalry of competitors. Okay. A lot of people are fighting. There's price war, there's product war, there is talent war. बहुत ज्यादा लड़ाई है between the existing companies. The rivalry amongst the competitors is huge. That is also highly competitive. Not a very lucrative position to be in because everybody's fighting. So if you get into that market, you will fight as well. Okay. Before I start this topic, my question to you is very simple. Again, let's go back to thinking like a business person. The question is, would you today think about this? Would you today get into, I give you 100 crore rupees. Think about this. Let's think big here. I give you 100 crore rupees. Would you go and start an EV, electric vehicle business? Yes or no? I give you 100 crore rupees. Would you start an electric vehicle business? Would you want to start an electric vehicle business? Think about the industry, think about what's happening there, think about the competition in the industry and answer. Think about the competition in the industry, the supplier, the customer strength, all of that. Would you like to invest in electric vehicle industry? Yes or no? Mixed answers. Very nice. That's what I wanted. Yes, yes, yes. No, 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 no. I will be charging the vehicle business. So you are going into charging business, not EV, electric vehicle making business, but into a charging point business. Okay. Tejaswin, very well put. You are the uh, Tony Stark of India. No, because there's certain threats to EV. Yes, no, maybe, yeah, but some changes in the model after sale, battery business and charging stations, customers are still exactly, exactly what. So your brain is now thinking in the right direction, my friend. People who are saying yes, think about this and listen to this very carefully. People who are saying yes, their brain is telling them there is competition, there is a lot of investment that is required, but the opportunity is bigger than the investment. The opportunity for making money and making sales is much higher than the competitive pressures in electric vehicle. So their brain said yes, correct? Because you're like, हाँ ठीक है मतलब competition होगा, investment चाहिए होगी, you will need a lot of things. They're big players, but the opportunity is also so huge that the opportunity wins versus the kind of competition we have. That was the brain of people who said yes. People who said maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll get into the charging business, not the EV business. What they're doing is their brain says the opportunity is there, but the competition is meeting that opportunity. People are already meeting that opportunity. The competition has already captured the opportunity. People are saying no, simple no, I won't get into EV, too risky. I don't know if that's going to be successful, if that the competition, a lot of people are already doing, I don't need to do that. Their brain is saying competition is higher than the opportunity. वो कह रहे यार कंपटीशन तो बहुत ऊपर है, अपॉर्चुनिटी इतनी बड़ी नहीं है. महिंद्रा, टाटा, BYD, Hyundai, Kia, सब everybody is doing this. How would I come and get this opportunity? A lot of people are all too competitive. Too many brands, too many big brands, established brands doing it. I don't want to do it. Now, each of you are right. Each of you are absolutely right. And that is where a strategist like you does this analysis. They get into Porter's five forces model and then they do the analysis. We'll keep this example close to us as we go into this thing, okay? As we go into the Michael Porter thing. Electric vehicles is going to be our North Star example, and let's see how big the competition is. And after we have done this, and after we have done this exercise, we all will together decide whether it's good to go, maybe, or a big no. Okay, all of the answers are right. Your brain, your thought process is absolutely perfect. Let's get into some details. Okay, let's get into some details. But before that, let's see. Maybe I have some questions. Let me just take 30 seconds. Okay, already e-bike demand getting declined due to firing. Okay, let's say that's one company. There's a place for EV market, but the pricing is great challenge in Indian market. Not really. People are still buying 15, 17, 20 lakh cars. You can still buy those. Few EV motorcycles are exploding and still people choose this. So whose bike is exploding? Okay. चार्जिंग स्टेशन ज्यादा नहीं अच्छा ग्रो होगा. नितिन सेज अभी इतना टाइम नहीं है, चार्जिंग स्टेशन ग्रो नहीं होगा. Country like India, people might just steal your batteries if you open up things, so you have to be careful of how things happen in the country as well. But let's get into the details of Porter's five forces. Okay, number one, threat of new entrants, bargaining power of the supplier, bargaining power of the buyer. You will have this PPT, I'll upload it, you can revise it from here, but let's focus on what's important for us to study here. Okay, now I will give you the heading and you have to give me examples. Okay, you have to give me examples. Threat of new entrants. What can be a threat of new entrant to a, let's say, a tube light business? Let's be tough and creative here. What can be a threat of new entrant to a tube light, right? You have a tube light. What can be a threat of new entrant to a tube light business? There's a company, let's say Philips, Osram, or any other company which makes tube lights. What's the threat of new entrant? Very nice. The kind of answers I wanted, I'm getting that, and all of those are wrong. बहुत अच्छे, यही चाहिए था. LED light replacing Amazon Alexa automatic smart LED lights, solar energy light. Okay. The customer base might reduce as they go for new entrant. Okay. Bluetooth LED bulbs. फंस गए आप लोग, फंस गए आप लोग. Sensor lights, solar energy. The answer what you're giving, most of you, some people are giving the right answer with established brands or competition or lots of customers. People are saying LED lights, solar lights, all of that. Dude, that is substitute. That is not a new entrant. फंस गए ना, फंस गए. यहीं पे एग्जाम में भी गलती होगी. This is where you will be very quick in thinking and हाँ हाँ यही answer है. And that is where you start losing marks, my friend. For a company like Philips making tube lights, the threat of new entrants is not LED bulbs. That's a substitute product, my friend. वो तो tube light का substitute है. It's a substitute. People won't buy tube light, they'll buy LED bulb or a solar bulb or a light warming or a sensor or an Amazon Alexa, blah, blah, blah. That is substitute. The new entrant is a new age company selling tube lights at lesser price पे खेल रहा है, right? Innovation लेके आ गया है. Innovation in terms of within tube light itself, not a substitute product, within tube light itself. Okay. Now, this is where new entrants, new age companies, new people come into the market. This is threat of new entrants. What you're telling me is substitute products. What you're telling me is substitute products. I'm asking you new entrants. Okay. Be careful in the exam. Quick thinking is good and it's absolutely great, but even better is thinking twice. Number two, bargaining power of the supplier. In a company or in an industry, or okay, in an industry, okay, classic example, classic example. I'll solve this for bargaining power of the buyer and seller together. Okay, bargaining power of the buyer and seller together. For a company like Amazon, Flipkart, okay, think about this carefully with me. Okay, think with me. Companies like Amazon and Flipkart, they buy millions and millions of cartons, right? The gatta, the boxes, okay, the brown box that you get for every delivery. They buy millions of these boxes from multiple vendors, let's say, okay? They buy it from small vendors in UP, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Northeast, somebody in Haryana is doing that for them. They buy so many boxes. That's a huge business. Okay. In that business, in that business, is that a game where the supplier has a bargaining power, or it is where the the buyer has the bargaining? The buyer is Flipkart and Amazon. The supplier is all these people who are making these brown boxes. Which of the two has more bargaining or more power over the other person? Which of the two do you think has more power over the other person? What do you think? Okay, I see answers: buyer, supplier, buyer, Amazon, person who orders in bulk. Absolutely. Buyer, okay. Buyer, supplier, the bulk orders. Amazon and Flipkart are more competitive or they have more power. Buyer, because it is one supplier who will not sell, he will go to the other. Okay. Supplier, because the suppliers can influence the production for survival. They can. There are a lot of carton suppliers in the market. Very nice. Now, if Flipkart and Amazon are only dependent on one big company for all their cartons, boxes, and all of that, then that supplier will have an advantage. So what companies generally do is they keep multiple suppliers so that they are not dependent on one. Okay. Bargaining power of the supplier is huge here. Okay. In this case, the classic case, in today's world, Flipkart and Amazon have a higher hand because they're bringing so much demand for these carton makers. If these companies go away, the carton people's business is going to go down massively. They're getting bulk orders in crores and crores from these companies. So it's huge. It is huge. Here, the bargaining power of the buyer is more because they're just two companies. They too can really demand a lot of stuff and then they can ask for their own prices. Now, Amazon and Flipkart can just talk to each other and say, okay, how much do you get a box for? Flipkart says, I get it for 1 rupee. Amazon says, oh, I'm getting for 1.5 rupee. Why are they charging me more? Let me go and tell them that Flipkart gets for 1. I'll also get for 1. They're just two companies, two big companies, and they can really talk to each other and create pressures on the suppliers. They can, and they would be doing. I won't be surprised, okay? Everybody wants to cut down their cost, and they can talk to each other to cut down the cost. Now, and both companies are American, so just saying, Flipkart is not Indian. Walmart owns it, so both are American. Bargaining power of this buyer is more here as compared to the supplier, because suppliers are many, but buyers are only two. So they charge what they want to pay, or they pay what they want to pay, right? That's where the buyer becomes important. But if you twist this into a company like Nvidia, a semiconductor company, very few companies make semiconductors. Like maybe Nvidia, then there's like I don't know, another Taiwanese companies which are making your chips and manufacturing those. All these are just very few people selling semiconductors. Or for example, airplanes. Name a company name a company which makes airplanes, okay? The aircraft, Boeing, Airbus, okay? Two companies only. I can only see two companies. Either it's a Boeing 737, 777 kind of an airplane if you travel, or you would see an Airbus A320 or something, right? This is where the bargaining power of the supplier is there. Now the supplier are only two. Buyers are many. There are like more than 100 airlines across the world, and only two companies are making airplanes, Airbus and Boeing, that we are aware of. There might be others as well, but two big brands, Airbus and Boeing. So the bargaining power of the supplier is more here. They're like, dude, we can charge you X, and they charge. They say one airplane is for 300 crore rupees, and companies can't really question. Boeing भी इतने का दे रहा है, Airbus भी इतने का दे रहा है. There's no competition. They're enjoying the bargaining power of the supplier. They enjoy that position. They take advantage of that position. Okay, and that's how Michael Porter यही समझा रहे हैं. Michael Porter is telling this exact same thing. He's saying, dude, this is what is happening. If the bargaining power of the buyer is more, they will pay what they want to pay. If the bargaining power of the supplier is more, they will charge XYZ money that they want to charge. If new entrants are coming into the market, you have to be cautious. Your business will die. Threat of substitutes. You guys gave the example. LED bulbs are smart bulbs are electronic, voice modulated products have come in. All these are substitute products. Okay. Now, these when come into the market, really kill your existing market. These are substitute products. They will kill your market. That's a 5 force model. And number 5 is rivalry amongst the existing competitors. Classic example देता हूँ आपको. Let me give you a classic example of rivalry among existing competitors. Okay, my friend. Now the example is there is a chaat shop. All is sticky, aloo papdi, then puchkas, golgappa, pani puri, whatever you call it. Okay, dahi bhalla or some snacks like you have. They also keep dosas and butter dosa and masala dosa and all of that. Chaat shop which keeps all these snacks. There is one shop in the market. There is another shop right next to it, sells the exact same thing. Okay. One shop, shop number 2, sells exact same thing. Okay. And they are already fighting with each other in terms of pricing, in terms of customers, in terms of product, in terms of space. कोई आगे लगा देता है, somebody puts a table outside, somebody puts an umbrella outside. They're expanding, they're fighting with each other every single day. Okay. Two shops, same product, same customer, same pricing, trying to beat each other. Would you open your shop for the same product right next to them? Would you open another snack shop with the same products, with the same everything right next to them? Would you do that? Both of them are making money, okay? It's not like customers are not coming to them, people are coming to them. A lot of people are coming to them. A lot of people are there eating. It's just outside the railway station, or let's say a metro station, and people are just coming and eating. There's a lot of footfall. It's not like the business is not good. The business is excellent. Would you open another shop right next to them where they're already fighting? What's the chance of your success there? Yes, because we can create a threat to them. Okay. Good optimism. I will find new market which is potential. खाने से related example ही क्यों भूख लगे okay because मैं भूखा हूँ that's why I'm giving you it's easy to understand. I gave you EV also, I gave you shoes also, I gave you example of so many things. वो जूता भी खाते हो, EV भी खाते हो, just joking. Exactly. See, you can open your shop. We're not saying the market is not there, the opportunity is not there. What we're saying is the chance of success is less. The chance of success is relatively less. They're already there. Two people fighting already there. Now, let me give you a one level up thing, okay? With two, you might think I might be the third one, I will also make money. Fair, you can. What if there are seven shops already doing the same thing? Would you want to be the eighth shop? दो के साथ तीसरा you can still be there. I'm telling you, railway station के बाहर seven shops selling exactly the same thing right next to each other. Would you want to be the eighth one doing that there? Now the answer probably will be no. Exactly. Why? Because rivalry amongst the existing competitors is really high already. My success, I would make money. It's not like I won't make money, but the rate of success or the potential is very less. So I wouldn't want to invest my time, money, efforts in a place where I already have to compete with so many people who are doing it for years and years. वहां जाके फायदा नहीं होगा मुझे unless I am unique. See, unless you are unique, if you're doing the exact same thing, then you are zero. But if you say everybody's selling now, okay, again, classic example. You would see in a lot of railway stations currently in a lot of states, Delhi already has it. Like you would now see in Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, right? Oh, tier twos, you go to Indore, you go to Khajiar, you go to Khajuraho, all these places. I have seen this wherever I go, I see this snacks are there, but there is one guy with momo stand, okay? Steamed momo. He would have that momo stand there. Now, what is this? Rivalry amongst existing competitors is there, but they're selling the same product. Somebody's just selling bhel puri, somebody's just selling vada pav, somebody's just selling bhalla papdi or XYZ, whatever the snack of that city is, like a poha or a dhokla or whatever it is. Now, this momo stand comes and stands next to them. This guy brings their small momo stand, comes and stands next to them. I will sell more. Now, people are already there selling snacks. People are already there doing that. But this person comes and does that because they are different. Now, rivalry among existing competitors exist when you're doing exactly the same thing. The moment you create a different product, then that rivalry vanishes and you start selling your product. Okay, so this is where we're going to learn that these are the pressures of competition, but how do you overcome that? How do you overcome that? Right? That's how you do it. Exactly, Pranav. Great thing. This Momo stand is actually a substitute product. Now, this Momo person becomes a threat of substitute to the existing players. They're like, boss, shit. Now, this guy has come and he's taking away the market. If somebody is eating Momo, they won't eat dahi bhalla after Momo, right? Generally, like you might eat, okay, but generally they won't. They will either go for something hot or they will go something cold, right? So they might just not eat both this stuff back to back. This is how the Momo person is killing by giving a substitute product. They become a substitute product for the existing ones, and for the Momo wala, this becomes a less rivalry among existing competitors. बट मोमो स्टैंड वाले के साथ एक और मोमो स्टैंड वाला आ जाएगा अगर, if there is another momo stand wala right next to momo stand, then that's existing competition is fierce. Then it gets difficult for them to sell. So again, it's relative, but yes, that's how it is. Aditya, what's your question? Why chat has been disabled? Aditya, because some people were really disrespectful in the chat to a lot of faculties. That's what happens. Okay. So we always request a lot of students to be really respectful to teachers on the chat. So some people weren't in some of the classes, some other subjects. So it got disabled and the decision was taken to disable it on Zoom, but it's still on BOS app, so can still be active here. Oh, that's what happens, right? A few elements kill the entire vibe of the class. That's the sad part of online, because you can't just throw them out, but then it impacts a lot of serious students like you all. But that's part and parcel. So let's make the best of what we have. So we have the BS chat. Let's make the best of it. Okay. So 5 forces of Michael Porter, my friend, which is threat of new entrants, bargaining power of the supplier, gaining power of the buyer, threat of substitutes, and rivalry amongst the existing competition. Okay. Now, threat of new entrants. Threat of new entrants को कैसे रोका जा सकता है? My question to you, think about this. I want to stop new people from coming into my industry. How do I do that? Very quickly tell me. I want new people to not come into my business. I don't want new people to enter my business. What all can I do? What can I do to stop new companies from coming into my business? Think about it. क्या क्या कर सकता हूँ? Be creative. You can look at the PPT, you can look at the screen as well. That's okay. But be creative. Think yourself, if you're a business and new people are coming into your business, how would you stop them from coming into your business? You make your quality so better that people just can't, they don't want to go to new product. You're the best. Okay. Cheap products, bring innovation, brand image, government policy. ये देखो, भावना is saying government policy change करा दो. Bhavna is thinking like Reliance, Adani, Ambani's, right? Policy change karwa do. Big brands doing that. Barriers for entry. Komal, reading from the PPT. High capital brand goodwill, being innovative, cheap products, expand and create entry barriers, provide better service. Provide better service. Sahi baat hai. Make your product in a manner so that customer cannot switch to another one. Very nice. All the answers to start new innovation, best quality, huge investment might discourage new entrants. Yes, creating habits in the customer. Very nice. Okay. All of the answers are on your screen. Great answers. Very well put. Very well articulated. Really proud of you. Okay. Number one, capital requirements. High capital needs discourage new entrants. Now, what happens is companies which require huge amount of money to start, generally a lot of people won't come. Only the very rich people or already established brands would want to explore, right? Nobody wants to fight a Zudio now. Nobody wants to fight an Aditya Birla fashion today because they're too huge. मैं अपने इतना बड़ा ब्रांड खोल के करूंगा क्या, right? Now, there are competitions. It's not like people are not doing it, but companies like Rare Rabbit or Snitch, right? You would see a lot of new brands, Rare Rabbit, Snitch, Soul Store. All these are trying to get into fashion. They're trying to beat Zara's and H&M's and M's and Reliance trends, but there's a lot of competition here. The entry barrier earlier used to be capital requirement for them, but today they all have a lot of money from foreign investment. So वो लोग मस्त पैसा बहा रहे हैं. Okay. So the entry barrier is still there for small players. You and me cannot really tomorrow start something like a Zudio or a Rare Rabbit or an H&M or a Zara. इतने सारे stores खोलना, every 2 months fashion change करना, so many clothes to discard, recycle, create, produce, market, then I don't know. Just the cost to run that business is crazy. Okay. So that's why it creates a barrier for new small entrants like an Azorte, right? Absolutely. Snitch and all these people got money. So capital requirement mil gayi, so they grew. Otherwise, they were not growing. The second is economies of scale. Now, if you create economies of scale for your business, which means the cost for you goes down, the new entrant will take years and years to create that. Simply put, एक बहुत simple example से समझाता हूँ आपको. Okay? Economies of scale क्या है? How many noodle brands do you see in the market today? Instant noodle, कौन सी खाते हो आप? Which instant noodle do you eat? That's the basic. You eat Maggie, you eat Yippee or a YY, right? Three three major brands. There are three major things that you're eating. You're either eating Maggie, you're either eating Yippee, or somebody might be eating YY as well. Correct? Very nice. Ching's की instant noodle भी आती है. Okay? Okay, Aditya, your mom says no one, everybody's mom says you shouldn't eat Maggie. Moms hate instant noodles. I don't know why. Interestingly, dads don't hate instant noodles. Most of the dads are really happy to eat instant noodles. Moms do not even like instant noodles. I don't know why. If you're making instant noodles, your father or your dad would come and say, मेरे लिए भी एक बताना छोटा सा. But moms will like, ये क्या खा रहे हो? I don't know why is that, but that's how it is. Very interesting, right? Maggie, Ching's. Okay, somebody saying Korean ramen. Who's this cool guy? Okay, Sukaina is the cool one in the class. She says, I eat Korean ramen. Very nice. BTS Army. Are you BTS Army, Sukaina? Okay, very well. So now the thing is, you have very few brands in instant noodles. Why? Because economies of scale, my friend. 14 rupees में मैगी मिल रही है, 12 रुपए में जिप्पी मिल रही है. ठीक है, वाई वाई इज अबाउट 12-14 rupees. Chings may be also 12-14 rupees for one packet. Now, to produce Maggie, now think about this, my friend. पहले तो मैगी प्रोड्यूस हुई, पैक हुई, there was a printing cost, there was a packaging cost, there is logistics, they are doing marketing, they are getting Alia Bhatt, Amitabh Bachchan to do Maggie ki ads, right? They're spending absolute so much money on creating Maggie brand. आपके घर तक पहुंचा रहे हैं. Every single shop in India has Maggie. The distribution is just mind-boggling. Okay, and they're selling it for 14 rupees. Just selling it for 14 rupees. मात्र 14 रुपए में बेच रहे हैं. With मसाला पैकेट, एड और क्यूआर कोड पे 2 रुपए कैशबैक भी दे रहे हैं. They're saying you scan the QR code, there's a code inside, give me the code, there will be an SMS, I will give you 2 rupees cashback also. This is economies of scale, my friend. This is economies of scale. Why they're able to do this is because they are producing like hundreds and crores of Maggie packets every year. So the fixed cost and the variable cost came. Fixed cost तो उतनी ही रहेगी. Variable cost ऊपर नीचे होती जाएगी, and that's why the cost to produce, the unit cost to produce Maggie becomes low. Rent factory का उतना ही रहेगा. Salary of the people उतनी ही रहेगी. The more you produce, the more raw material you need, the more logistics you need. That will keep moving. But fixed cost वहीं की वहीं है. So if your fixed cost is here, you produce so much, your variable cost is here, the total divided by total units starts falling, right? Already factory मेरे पास है, I've already invested 100 crores, thousands of crores in the factory, in trucks which are bringing my products here and there. ट्रक खरीद चुका हूँ, फैक्ट्री खरीद चुका हूँ, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स मेरे को जानते हैं. My fixed cost is there. Variable cost change हो रही है. A new company which will now come and do this, पहले तो वो 1,000 करोड़ की फैक्ट्री लगाएगी, फिर उसमें ट्रक्स खरीदेगी, फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को मार्जिन देगी, वो फिक्स कॉस्ट जहां पे चली गई. अब वो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट बनाने की, द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट विल आल्सो स्टार्ट इंक्रीजिंग. सो द कॉस्ट फॉर देम इज सो ह्यूज that to bring Maggie to your home at 14 rupees, they will never be able to do that. Maggie, Nest, Yippee, Patanjali noodles, all of these are working on scale. इतना बड़ा scale है that the per unit cost is so low that they can charge very low price to the customer as well and keep new people away from the industry. Like आप नहीं आ सकते because हम तो 12-14 रुपए पे बेच रहे हैं. The new people will figure out the cost for me to make is bloody 30 rupees. 14 rupees I can't even sell. Right? So that's how you create entry barriers. Number 3, product differentiation. You are so different from the market that people just stay away from you, right? That's called iPhone, product differentiation. Okay. Threat of nobody wants to touch iPhone. They create their own phones. They create their own segment. They don't come close to iPhone. They don't compete with iPhone in terms of nobody says I'm better than iPhone. Everybody says I am a good brand too, right? The product differentiation of iPhone is such that it keeps new entrants away. Okay. Switching costs. Number 4, somebody was saying switching costs. You give such excellent services that people come back to you again and again and again and again. Just like teachers, just like faculties, there would be some faculties you would just absolutely love, right? You were like, this person teaches absolutely fantastic. It's difficult for you when the teacher changes. This is called switching cost. That faculty has created a switching cost for you. Now it's very difficult for you to adjust to something else. Same does the business. People who use MacBooks can't use Windows. People who use Windows can't go back to Mac OS. Okay. People who are used to certain things will find it very difficult to move to something else. Okay. A lot of your parents, most of the parents you would see a lot are very hesitant in switching to new things, new technology, new clothing trends, all of that. The switching cost is huge for their brain. They just cannot. And brands play on that. Brands play on that. They create something that becomes very difficult. Somebody uses an Airtel, finds it very difficult to go to Jio because they're very happy with Airtel. They're like, ah, Airtel अच्छा कर रहा है. Jio जाऊंगा. I don't know what happened if the network is right, if the SIM works in my office area, in my home. I don't know. So they're not able to go to the new company or the new brand because they're so happy with their existing brand. The switching cost is huge. This is where companies play and kill competition. Brand identity. Again, Samsung TVs. TV लेना है सोनी का ब्राविया लो या सैमसंग का लो. The market is over there. Okay. Everybody would tell you they're costly, but the brand identity. You want to buy a TV, an LED, OLED TV, whatever, go for a Samsung or a Sony. People would tell. I'm not telling you. I'm just giving you an example. You can buy any company you want, but that's a brand identity. Okay. Somebody comes to your city and says, where should I go to eat ice cream? Let me ask you this. Okay. The question is very simple, my friend. If I come to your city, let's say I've come to your city and I ask you, man, I want to eat some good ice cream. Where would you tell me to go? Give me some names of the shops or places where you feel the ice cream is fantastic. If I come to your city, where should I go for ice cream? Okay. Pranav says go to Baskin Robbins. Okay, Pranav. Pranav has given me one suggestion. If I come to his city, I will go to Baskin Robbins. Thank you. Okay, Akshara says go to Ibako. Go to Patel Ice Cream. Ayushi says go to Patel Ice Cream. Vaishnavi says go to Naturals. Nistala says Amul, Hershey's, okay? Hershey's also I can go, okay. ज्ञानी, सत्य says ज्ञानीज के पास चले जाओ, ठीक है, ज्ञानीज के पास चले जाएंगे. Naturals, ज्ञानीज. Then we have Getox. Getox ice cream, very nice. Arun ice cream. Shailesh says go to Arun ice cream. Aisha, Aisha says minus 18 degrees. What a cool name. Okay. Aisha also says you can go to Koti ice cream. Koti ice cream, very nice. Great names. I'm going to take screenshots. Next time I'm in the city, I'm going to go there. That was my trick. Okay. I've already taken a screenshot. Thanks. Okay. Jio Cinema सावन सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं लेना पड़ता. नितिन जी किधर से आया? We're talking about ice creams. Where is Jio Savan here? Cool. So now the question is, there's a brand identity in your mind. Now these brands in your cities have created a brand identity. Even if new companies come, you're like, we don't want to go there. We'll just go to the brand identity. We know this brand for years. The taste is good. The money is good. Let's just go there. Simple. That's brand identity. Okay. Your brain tells you what is brand identity. Final is distribution channels. Now, the wider your distribution, the difficult it is for the new entrants to get into that market. Okay. Just like Pepsi, Coke, Pepsodent, Maggie, Surf Excel, Dove, Godrej number one, all these brands, soaps, detergents, ice creams, food, right? Patanjali's and all of that. Every every damn shop, Sunsilk, okay, Sunsilk shampoos, or you go and buy a Haldiram namkeens or Bikaner wala namkeen or whatever namkeen you like, Ch2's namkeen or whatever it is. You see, every shop will have that. That's a distribution channel they have created. A new company will find it so difficult to create that kind of a distribution channel, and that keeps the new entrants away from the market. That keeps them away from getting into that market. Okay, the distribution channels. That's a threat of new entrant way of keeping them away. So how do you solve for threat of new entrant is by creating entry barriers. Entry barriers can be capital requirement, economies of scale, a product differentiation, switching costs, brand identity, distribution channel. 6 entry barriers can keep the threat of new entrant away. Okay. You can read this in your free time. Great business scenarios I put for you, right? When you revise, do that. Consumer power, we have already done. What is a consumer power? We have already discussed about suppliers strength as well. Okay, so I'll not touch that upon. We have already studied in that example. The semiconductor and pharmaceutical have supplier advantages, right? So we'll keep that. Rivalry amongst competitors. Okay, now rivalry amongst competitors tends to be cutthroat and industry profitability is low under various conditions. When the number of competitors are huge, there is no industry leader. Now, this is like exam में तो इससे इतने questions आते हैं. This topic, rivalry amongst competitors, is like the exam people's favorite topic. They're like, यहाँ से question तो आना ही चाहिए. The entire Michael Porter, for that matter, entire Michael Porter thing, the concept, just so many questions here that you'll be like, सारे questions इधर से क्यों आ रहे हैं? People just love this, okay? Too many questions get created from here. Quality ice cream भी आ रहा है मेरे पास. Okay, we've come ahead. Dehradun ice cream shop also. Okay, good. So rivalry amongst competitors. Okay. Now, if there is no clear industry leader, the competition will always be huge. Simple maths. Industry leader in here, people will keep fighting for being number one. Number two, number of competitors are huge. When the number of competitors are huge, it really means that a lot of people want to make money. The competition is huge. When the fixed costs are high, okay, when the fixed costs are high, that drives the firms to cut prices with excess capacity, lowering industry profitability. जब बहुत ज्यादा fixed costs लग चुकी होती है, then people start becoming competitive. I can't even exit, and it's difficult to sustain, so the competition becomes fierce. Okay, think about this. You have already invested. Let me give you an example. Okay, let me give you a simple example. You start a furniture shop. Okay, think with me here. Think with me here. You start a furniture shop, and you have really taken a big space, because furniture shops really require a big shape. Okay, now this big place, you have rented for, let's say, 5 lakh rupees per month. It's a huge shop, huge showroom, 5 lakh rupees per month rent. And you put, and you have blocked that for 11 months. 11 महीने का rent तो आपको भरना ही है. It's a fixed cost now for you. You have to pay 11 months. You cannot exit before that. And you keep stuff, the sofas and couches and beds and almiras and wardrobes and all of that. You have put that into that place. All of the together, the worth is about 10 crore rupees. 10 crore का आपने माल लगा दिया. 5 लाख रुपए महीना, 11 महीना, 60 lakh rupees almost in rent, and 10 crores of material, the stuff you have already placed into your showroom. Okay, another person has done the exact same thing right next to you. Another person has done the exact same thing right next to you. Another person has done another shop right next to you. So 3 of you are there. Now 3 of you are there. All of you have invested 10 crore rupees. What will happen? Who will exit the business first? Who will exit the business first? Thank you, Cynthia. You'll make ice cream for me. Thank you so much. The best ice cream then. Okay. Homemade. Bhavnagar coconut ice cream. Okay, so next time I'm there, I'm gonna eat Bhavnagar's coconut ice cream. Quality walls. Trishika is basic. Yeah, quality walls how basic हर जगह मिलती है. Corner House, Joy, Amul, Naturals. Deepak is ice cream topper. सारी दुकानें देखी हैं. It is like perfect competition market. Okay, now the thing is, all of them are so invested in fixed costs that they will start competing in prices. If this person sells bed for 30,000, I will give you for 27,000. The other one says 27, I'll give you for 25. माल निकालना है, 10 करोड़ रुपए का माल फंसा हुआ है, साथ में कंपटीशन आ गया है. How do I make sales? Is I will start cutting prices, my friend. I will start cutting prices. It's the best thing for the consumer, the worst thing for the business. Okay. Who is not able to recover the fixed cost will exit. तो यही है ना, प्राइस रिकवर करने के लिए you will have to make sales. For sales, you will have to cut prices. So in an industry where the fixed cost investment is huge. Now, 10 crores के ऊपर मैं जाता हूँ. Let's say you built a factory and a plant for 500 crores. And you see like 3 more people started that factory. 3 more people started that factory. So, अभी सबका fixed cost लग गया. What will happen is they will start cutting prices. When they start cutting prices, it becomes really competitive. Your profits start falling. Your profit start falling. Okay. So industry profitability gets lower and lower and lower. That's what happens. When the competition amongst rivals starts going up, the profitability starts going down, because एक दूसरे से लड़ने में आप कस्टमर का फायदा करोगे. It's a win-win for the customer. As a customer, I would love to go into a market where there is so much competition, because फिर मेरे को prices सही मिलेंगे, right? You go to a car dealership, you're like, this dealer is giving me 2 lakh rupees discount. How much are you giving? The other dealer says, I will give you 2 lakh 50. You're like, oh, okay. Then you go to the next dealer, he's giving 2 lakh 50. How much discount? So in car dealership, there is very high competition. People go and play, customers go and play on that कि वो तो इतना दे रहा, आप कितना दोगे, वो तो इतना दे रहा, आप कितना दोगे. So the consumer becomes the power here, because they have so much fixed cost. Inventory cars की पड़ी है, they अब वो बेचनी है. Black color नहीं बिक रहा, white color car is not selling. They have to exit the inventory. So like, okay, I'll give you 2 lakh rupees discount. You pick up this white car today. They're like, ठीक है, it works for me. Because that white car, nobody is buying a white car. People say, अरे ये तो Uber लगेगी. And you have to exit that white inventory. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, that's what happens. So if you're trying to buy a car in future, go for a white car. They're the cheapest. Just telling you. Okay, then exit barriers. Again, if exiting is a problem, the competition will be high because कोई exit ही नहीं करेगा. If exiting from the industry is tough, then nobody would exit. And if nobody would exit, they will keep competing. If they will keep competing, the competition will be high. If the competition will be high, the amount of money you make will be very low forever. Slow growth. Too many people, the growth will be slow. Too many people, growth will be slow forever. It's not going to be like आप 10x कर लोगे business. Competition है भाई वो भी बढ़ रहा है. They're going to take your market share away. So these are certain things, right? Various conditions that create rivalry amongst competitors is no industry leader, a lot of people in the market, fixed costs are really high. You can't exit the business easily. There is no product differentiation and slow growth. There is no product differentiation and the growth is slow. That creates a lot of competition. Not a good place to be for the business. Okay. Substitutes, my friend. Substitutes. If there are substitutes in the market, time for you to say goodbye to the market. Or you start selling substitutes as well. That's how it is. Okay, let's take an example here. Okay, the Indian beverage industry, the rise of health conscious consumer has posed a significant threat to the substitutes. Now, brands like Coca-Cola have faced increasing competition from bottled water and natural juices as consumers prefer healthier options like नारियल पानी bottle में आने लगा है, right? To combat this threat, Coca-Cola India diversified a product range by introducing healthier alternatives such as Aquarius, which is a flavored water, and Minute Maid fruit juice. They had to bring substitute. वो सिर्फ कोका कोला नहीं बेच पा रहे थे, right? They had to bring Minute Maid fruit juices, bottled water, सब कुछ बेचना पड़ा substitute because people were like Coca Cola तो it's Coke is just too much sugar, too much unhealthy water for us. Okay. Additionally, the company invested in marketing campaigns that focus on hydration and well-being, positioning these products well suited for health-conscious consumers. Now, they have effectively countered the competitive pressure from substitutes in the Indian beverage market. So, Indian beverage market में substitutes आने लगे, the companies have to switch themselves to substitutes as well. Okay, that's what Michael Porter's 5 forces of competition were all about. Okay, the consumers' power, the suppliers' power, the threat of new entrants, substitute products, and rivalry amongst competitors. Okay, all of this, all of this we were studying, our mind was only talking about industry attractiveness, which means how much money am I going to make here? Okay. How much money am I going to make? Should I even go into that industry or not? Should I even go into this business or not was the question. So industry attractiveness को कैसे मापा जाए? How do you measure that if an industry is worth investing or not? The question is simple, my friend. How do you analyze if an industry is worth investing or not? Number one, growth potential. If there is growth potential, there are more customers coming in, there are more consumers coming in, the prices are increasing, growth potential hai, go for it. Current and future competition. Look at the position. If there is a lot of competition today, maybe not. You don't want to go there. The profits will be less. Future में competition आ सकता है. You have to be careful. You want to play here for certain years. जब competition आएगा आप exit कर जाओगे. That's the kind of business strategy works. Totally. But analyze the attractiveness. Attractiveness is paisa. Okay. You how much money can you make in that industry is attractiveness. Things to consider is growth, current and future competition. Number three, the driving forces. How will prevailing industry forces impact profitability? That means political क्या positioning है, environmental positioning क्या है, legal positioning क्या है, can I do business easily, make money in this industry? Yes or no? क्या ये mafia led business है? Maybe if you're going into real estate, you might like, यार ये तो mafia led business है, यहाँ तो a lot of people, big गुंडागर्दी चलती है यहाँ तो, right? I'm just giving you an example. It can be any industry. You go to mining, you go to anything like water related. It's all mafia-led business. They're oligopolies, they're monopolies. They work like mafias. They don't let you enter and do business easily. Even if you start doing good business, they would create a lot of problems for you. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. It can be a driving force for you to figure out that maybe the industry is not too attractive for me. Competitive position. What's the organization's competitive standing? Will it improve or weaken? Uh, Against competition, how well are you positioned? Are you better than the competition? Are you worse? Analyze that and then figure out if you're going to make money or not. If I think like, for example, if somebody is just so much better than me, I would not even compete there. Okay, that's fair. You cannot compete with everyone. Somebody is gonna win forever above you. So you got to figure out what's my play area. So competitive position समझो अपनी and play there. If I'm making a cell phone or a smartphone for 20,000 rupees, I'm not even competing with the Samsungs and iPhones of the world. I'm competing with a OnePlus. I'm competing with an Oppo and a Vivo. My competitive position is there. I cannot be thinking of creating a product that beats iPhone and I'm making a 20,000 rupee phone. Not possible. Okay. Figure that out. Attractiveness, things to consider is competitive position. Exploiting weak rivals. How do people in the industry like probably pressurize weak rivals? Can the company leverage weaker rivals themselves as well? Vulnerable for opportunities? Maybe you can think छोटी छोटी कंपनीज को खरीद के बड़ा बन जाता हूँ. That's what Reliance is doing. That is what Tata is doing. Tata really did not. So Tata's management is all experienced people who are above 40, 50 years. Old people, right? Generally, the management is really old, but the business have to be new. So what they're doing, they're acquiring 1MG, Tata Sky, Kia. Then they bought They brought Tata Digital. Tata now is getting into Zudio and all of that. Come right, Tanish, brand new Titan, Timex, Fast Track खरीद ली. They're buying the new age young brands so that they can reform their business. So they're exploiting weak rivals. They're exploiting weak rivals in terms of they're acquiring them, killing the competition, and becoming a bigger brand themselves. That's how the industry attractiveness. I can be a small brand and say, okay, if I do good business, somebody like a Tata or Reliance will buy me. That's also a good deal. Why not? Okay. Or if I'm a big company, I can just go and figure out these small companies, buy them, kill them, and make my business bigger. That's the attractiveness of the business. You have to think like a business person. Okay. Defense mechanism. Okay. Can the company defend against industry and attractive factors? How easy it is to manipulate market? That defines your attractiveness. Can you change the perspective of the consumer? Can you manipulate the competition? Can you play around the legal areas of the business? Can you do that? How's the defense mechanism of the industry? That really defines how attractive the business is. Risk and uncertainty. Okay, what are the levels of risk and uncertainty in the industry's future? Okay, what's happening there? How risky is the business, right? For example, EV, we were talking about electric vehicles, we were talking about how risky is the business. Is it going to fly in the future or is it not going to work in the future? That's the risk and uncertainty. Okay, any technology, new pharma technology, new thing that you bring into the business and you feel maybe this is just not going to work because too new for the business or the people. Okay, like cartels, petrol business, right? Active coconut water, that's right. Boat and hammer deal in Shark Tank, exploit weak rivals. Absolutely, that's what he did. That's a business strategy, man. No right and wrong, it's absolutely pure business. Tea consumers, you just heard. What did you Tata consumers, sorry, I read that as tea consumers. Tata consumers, right? Then adopt technology. That's right. But the end of all this conversation, my friend, is the end of all this attractiveness of the business and this and competition, economies of scale. Sab kuch sahi hai. Everything is there. But the thing is, customer is the queen or king. Customer always wins. So customer has to be heard. कंपटीशन आप देखो अच्छी बात है, आपका अपना अपना राइवल्स देखो अच्छी बात है, यू लुक एट द इंडस्ट्री अट्रैक्टिवनेस अच्छी बात है. Do that analysis. It's absolutely important. But do not undermine your consumer or customer. Just to win over the rivals, do not exploit your customer. Okay? Do not do not underplay the need of the customer to just win over competition. That's the crux of this topic. A customer is the person who buys the product. Customers are important because they provide revenue. All businesses we or want to attract customers either by aggressive marketing or through pricing. Consumer and customer, the difference is customer buys, consumer uses, right? So a customer analysis here is it involves evaluating consumer desires using surveys, data, figure out what they want, find out what they want, right? Selecting segmentation strategies to create effective consumer profiles. Classic example देता हूँ आपको from your city experience itself. Some of the people living in metro cities like a Delhi, Mumbai, or a Bangalore, they would see a lot of food joints, a lot of travel things like auto rickshaw walas or Ubers, cabs, and buses, metros, trains. They start at 5 a.m. in the morning. The roads are busy at 5 a.m. on the morning. A lot of breakfast joints like a poha, a samosa, chole bhature, kulcha, and all of that, they are starting from 5:30 a.m. because consumers want it. Consumers are out to work, they are hungry, they will buy at 6 a.m. in the morning. Why are you not selling at 6 a.m. in the morning? That's figuring out what the consumer need is and positioning yourself there. For cities which are tier 2, tier 3, let's say if you go to Jaipur, if you go to, let's say, Indore, or if you go to something like a Coimbatore, you will see the city starts working somewhere around 7, 7:30. 6 a.m., 6:30, it's a quite nice place to live. You would really enjoy 6 a.m. in a tier 2, tier 3 city, right? They're quiet, they're very shant, and the shops are not open, the traffic is not there, no buses, no cars, nothing. Only school kids and school buses, no business or consumerism you'll see. But cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, like 6 a.m. in the morning, there is traffic jam. There's mud, like dust everywhere. People are honking, food, sure, it's too crowded. For the business, what it means is if I am in Coimbatore, okay, if I am in, let's say, Kochi, okay, what am I going? Am I if I open my stall at 5:30 in a.m. in the morning, all combed and well bathed, and I sit in my shop at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, nobody's gonna come, and I'll be like, my business is not working, man. Why am I doing this business? You have not understood the consumer there. The consumer wants you to open at 8 a.m. Please manage your business from 8 a.m. I'm just giving you one example. So unless you understand the consumer, or if I am in, let's say, Mumbai, and I am starting my business at 11 a.m. 11 बजे आराम से खोलते हैं अपने दुकान हम लोग. 11 बजे खोलते हैं, 5 बजे बंद कर देते हैं. Right? I open my shop at 11 a.m., close at 5 p.m. And I'm like, I am not becoming rich. Everybody in the market is becoming rich. I am not becoming rich because market starts at 5 a.m. You open at 11 a.m., my friend, right? So understanding the consumer, what they want, when they want, how they want, this is more important than even understanding your competition, right? So understanding the consumer customer is really, really important. Consumer behavior. Examine elements like their shopping frequency, their product preferences, and perception of your marketing, sales, and service offering. Understand what they value. Understand, understand what they really pay for. They pay you money for the product, for the service, for you, for your brand identity, for their own satisfaction. Why are they paying money to you? Understand that, play on that. That's understanding consumer behavior. Okay. Now, the decision making of the consumer goes in these phases. Okay, the decision making of the consumer goes in certain phases. People are saying इंदौर में 56 दुकान आ जाओ. ठीक है जी, thank you. Coimbatore is a different world, right? Absolutely, it is. It is a really nice city. I loved it. Okay. So external influences. How does a customer take a decision or make a decision? Okay. Four stages of a customer making a decision. You, me, we all do this. One, external influences, advertisements, peer recommendations. Okay, let's say I want to buy a keyboard. I want to buy a gaming keyboard. Okay, I want to buy a gaming keyboard. External influences. I'll go to Amazon. I'll read reviews. I'll go to YouTube, watch videos. I'll call up my friends. Hey, you have that. How is that? Is that thing working? Okay. External influences होंगे. I will be influenced through external factors like reviews, videos, friends, peers, all of that. Then I'll have my internal influences, right? My psychological factors like, can I afford that? Do I need it? Okay. Should I for 2 months? Let the Diwali sale come. Maybe I don't really need it. Oh no, I really want it. I want to do so much work. I want to do it on a good keyboard, right? You want to do all of that. Internal influences. Then you do the decision making. You were externally influenced, you were internally influenced. Now you start taking a decision. Your decision is, it involves problem recognition, seeking alternatives, information gathering. आपने information gather कर ली. You have made up your mind. The psychological thing is working for you, right? It's working in your mind. It's telling you buy, not to buy this, that. High impact purchases are happening. Most significantly, your thought ki maybe I have to buy something else. Should I save money? All of that. And you take a decision that no, I want to buy a keyboard. I really need this. I can afford it. I really need a good one. So you buy. Take a decision that you will buy a keyboard. Number four, after you have bought it, the consumer reactions are based on the satisfaction, which leads to either a repeat customer or they will just become an external influence for others. Post decision making after buying, right, they will either become a good or a bad external influence for somebody, or they will become a repeat customer for you. Okay, anything can happen. So you have to be very careful in product. That I was telling, product is pivotal because customer is all about product, my friend. कस्टमर को कोई मतलब नहीं आपके कंपटीशन से. कस्टमर हैज नथिंग टू डू विद योर कंपटीशन, विद योर इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल, विद योर वैल्यू चेन एनालिसिस, विद योर कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज, विद योर कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी. Nothing doing. Keyboard that came to you can be the best brand, you can have the best value chain, you can have the best strategy, you can have the best competitive advantage. मेरा कीबोर्ड टूटा हुआ आया. I am going to tell everybody this brand is not worth it. Simple. Okay, that's why the product is pivotal. That's where the consumer becomes so important. Okay, that's what happens when you want to build a value chain analysis. It's about revolving around product. It's revolving around product, the experience that the customer will have, because customer decision making is a full cycle. External influence, internal decision making, purchase becomes an external influence for somebody else. Okay, very nice. Competitive strategy, creating a competitive advantage and protection of competitive advantage. Two things that a business does in competitive strategy is to create competitive advantage and to protect competitive advantage. Okay. Now, how do you build a competitive strategy? Michael Porter told you 5 forces of competition which really create a competitive environment. But the question is, how do you then build a competitive strategy? You understood the consumer, you understand the market, you understand the competition. In this chapter, what we have done is you understand external environment, the macro environment, pestle analysis, demographic, socio-cultural, you understand legal, political, technological, then you understood about the competition through Michael Porter, the 4 forces of competition, you now understand competition. What we also just talked about was understanding consumers and customers. So you understand macro, you understand competition, and you also understand the customer. तीनों को समझ गए हो. How do you now build a competitive strategy when you know these three things? Competition, external, customer. सबको हमने पढ़ लिया. We analyzed everything around them. What is more meaningful to them? How do you build a competitive strategy now is one, identify the competitors, understand them, determine their strengths and determine their weakness. Very simple. Identify, understand them, determine their strength, determine their weakness. Okay. One business scenario for you very quickly of how a brand can really create a competitive strategy. Very quickly, let's understand. In the vibrant city of Jaipur, a new perfume company called Essence Swad. Okay, there's a company called Essence Swad which emerged, eager to make its mark in the fragrance market. Okay, it found itself up against Sugandh Shala, another company which was Sugandh Shala, a well-established brand known for its luxurious and sophisticated scents, and Aroma Kendra, पॉपुलर फॉर इट्स अफोर्डेबिलिटी. एक ब्रांड है सुगंधशाला विच इज लग्जरी सेगमेंट, अनदर इज अरोमा केंद्र विच इज अफोर्डेबल, right? Trendy fragrances which are very affordable. Now, this girl, Anya, the passionate founder of Essence Swad, she knew she had to develop a competitive strategy to carve her niche out. एक ब्रांड लग्जरी में खेल रहा है, एक अफोर्डेबिलिटी में खेल रहा है, और आप एक नया ब्रांड लेके आ रहे हो. There's a brand which plays in luxury, another brand plays in affordability. You're bringing a new brand. How do you create a competitive advantage? Is number one, identify the competitors, which you have already done. During market research, you quickly identified the key competitors. Sugandh dominated by high-end market with a loyal customer base. Aroma Kendra appealed to the youth with catchy advertisements and vibrant packaging. Okay? Understanding the competitors. Anya took time to explore their offering. She went to their shops, she went online and figured out what are they selling. So Sugandh was admired for its classical scents, crafted by renowned perfumers, provided luxurious shopping experience. Aroma Kendra excelled in engaging customers through social media and collaborations with influencers. The strengths were Sugandh strength lay in brand prestige. People really found themselves taking a pride in wearing a Sugandh perfume. While for Aroma Kendra, right, its finger on the pulse of youth culture, continuously launching new eye-catchy scents, right, that resonated with younger audience. Very catchy scents it used to create, affordable. That was their strength. The weakness. She discovered the weakness as well. She said Sugandh focus on luxury meant their prices were out of reach for many consumers. So that's a weakness. They are leaving a gap of consumers open for others to play in. Aroma Kendra, while trendy, often sacrificed quality for lower prices. Quality अच्छी नहीं थी. Price तो दे रहा था, catchy तो कर रहा था, but quality was very poor for Aroma Kendra. So now she figured out, okay, I know the strengths, I know the weaknesses. With these insights, she crafted her strategy. She aimed to create a premium brand that combined quality with affordability. She launched a line of fragrances that embodied elegance without breaking the bank, positioned as affordable luxury. She positioned herself as an affordable luxury brand. Okay. To compete with Sugandh exclusivity, she focused on creating a rich online experience because Sugandh online नहीं था अच्छा और उससे और aroma था. So she took the goods of aromas and good of Sugandhs and then created their affordable luxury. She harnessed the power of social media to connect with millennials and Gen Zs, inviting local influencers to exclusive fragrance launch parties where they could experience the scents firsthand. Within months, she started gaining attention not only from their fragrances, but also for approachable branding and community engagement that she was doing for her brand. Okay. Now, her events and included scent workshops and all of that. Now, how she did the competitive strategy was she balanced the understanding of their strengths while addressing their weaknesses, which allowed her to find a gap in the market and fill that gap with her own strengths. That's how you build a competitive strategy. Affordability है, quality नहीं है, luxury है, but prices बहुत high हैं. Affordable luxury. That's what is happening in the clothing market as well. Companies like Snitch, Rare Rabbit, we were talking about, they're Zudios and the Reliance Trends. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. They're affordable luxuries. Okay. Now, what are they doing is a jacket for 3,000, 4,000 rupees. It's not too high, it's not too low, the quality is good. So they're finding consumers who really want to wear good quality and they're okay to pay a bit more money. These are not jackets that you would get in street shops or vendors on the roads, right? You would not get those jackets there like 1,000, 1,500. These are 4,000, 5,000 rupees jacket. Not a luxury, not too cheap, good quality, a little pricey for the consumer who wants an experience and ready to pay some amount of money. That's the gap marketing strategy. That's what she has also done here. And that is how you build a competitive strategy, my friend. Okay, that's how you build a competitive strategy as well. Okay, the last topic of the chapter, key success factors. Simple है. Every industry has a key success factor that probably tells you whether you will be successful in this industry or not. Every industry has certain key success factors which tell you if you go into this industry, will you be successful or not, my friend. Okay. Simple काम है key success factors का. It tells you, if you go into that industry, will you be successful or not? Yes, Srinivasan, everything is discussed. Maybe if you have missed it, you can watch the recorded sessions on YouTube as well. KSFs are factors that shape whether a company will be financially and competitively successful. The answer to 3 questions help identify an industry's key success factors. Number 1, on what basis do consumers choose between competing brands and sellers? What product attributes are crucial to sales? अगर आप ये break कर लोगे, if you understand this, you will be successful. If you understand this, my friend, you will be successful. What is the selling point for the customer? On what basis do customers choose between the brands which are competing in the industry, right? Price पे लेते हैं, quality पे लेते हैं, ease of access पे लेते हैं, free delivery पे लेते हैं, after sale service पे लेते हैं, किस basis पे? On what basis are competitors choosing a particular brand of product that you are playing in, right? That is really important. Number 2, what resources and competitive capabilities does a seller need to have to be competitively successful? Better human capital, quality of product, quantity of product, cost of service, etc. What competitive capability does a seller need to have? पहले तो ये जानना है कि कंज्यूमर को क्या चाहिए. Then you come to your own thing. What do I need to work on to ensure the customer gets that? Okay, you have to solve this. First, identify what the consumer wants. Then you identify what do I have to do to provide that to the consumer. And number 3, what does it take for the seller to achieve sustainable competitive advantage that can be long term? Okay. Now, after you identify what the consumer wants, after you identify what you have to do to meet the consumer's demands, you then have to figure out an competitive advantage which is for the long term. It cannot be a 3-6 month affair. I keep telling you, businesses are long term. So if you have answers to these 3 questions, your chances of success in the industry increase. These become your key success factors. You understand the consumer, you understand yourself, and you've created a long-term advantage for yourself. Like Tata has created a brand name, Apple has created a brand name, Samsung has a brand name, right? Bombay Dyeing has a brand name, McDonald's has a brand name, Starbucks has a brand name, Chios has a brand name, Zomato now has a brand name, Blinkit has a brand name, Zepto now has a brand name, Flipkart has a brand name. These companies have created long-term competitive advantages for themselves that they will go long term. It's not like kal band nahi ho sakte ye log, right? They are going to go long term. What does it take to be long term is what number three thing for the business is. Understand consumer, understand yourself, and make it long term. Okay. Very, very nice. Again, you can read it when I upload the PPT. These are just revision notes. You can refer here as well. Okay. Consumer choices between competing brands. I've given you some examples as well, right? High-end perfume versus luxurious packing. Do people prefer design over aesthetic, or like people prefer aesthetic over quality, or people really like good packaging, but the product can be okay. People like good food in taste or good looking food. It really, that's what the restaurant has to decide. Do people really like my good looking food for their photos, or they really like food which is tasty? Choice between what consumer does. Resources and competitive capability, again, what do you have to do? You may have to invest in skilled people, talent banana padega, technology, production, quality, innovation you will have to work on. That's what the number two is. And finally, long term, by creating loyal customers, creating a brand image of the founder or the owner of the company, or a brand image as one of the best companies to work for or be associated with. That's the kind of brand image you would want to create for your brand for a long-term approach. Okay. With that, my friends, we complete our chapter number 2 as well. I have a few questions for you. Okay. And you can also ask your questions. Seller have to make it like the customer are always getting more than they paid for. Absolutely. Yes. True. Okay. Question is on your screen, my friend. Practice question on your screen. Let's see if you can answer. We'll do the practice questions now for the next 10-15 minutes. You can also ask your questions on the chat. Hardik, I don't think you can unmute yourself on Zoom. That's not allowed now. So maybe you can ask your question on the US chat, my friend. Right? Like we told, like because of certain uh, people, the great thing of Zoom chat was just disabled because of certain bad elements that came into the chat. So okay, I just have one answer for this question. Where are other people answering? Or am I not just getting the answers here? People, you got to answer all these things. These are practice questions for you, not for me. I've practiced. I've created the questions, I know. These are practice questions for you. The more you solve, the better you get at it. The correct answer for question number 1 is C, socio-cultural. Majority of you gave the right answer, and that is true. Option number C. Okay. Next question on your screen. Read the question very carefully and answer. Read the question and answer. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please keep asking. Can I explain part 1 of crucial sales? Point 1 of crucial sales. Which one? Crucial sales. Which crucial sales? Keep answering as well. Keep asking questions as well. I'm active on the chat. Question number 2 on your screens. Take your time, read it carefully and answer. Second question, answer again for another 10 seconds and then go to the next question. The correct answer of question 2 is A, threat of substitutes. Threat of substitutes, okay? Third question on your screen, my friends. Third question on your screen. You can also keep asking questions in the chat. Wow. So can I say A or B? Can I exam A? You can't write A or B in the exam. You have to give one answer. This is not KBC where you can do double dip. I wish ICAI gave you phone a friend, video call a friend, or a double dip as well. Would have been so good. There's a mosquito, man. Been irritating me for the last 10 minutes. My internet is good. Yeah, Aditya, you should totally call me if you get a phone a friend. Probably I'll be busy watching a YouTube video, so I might just cut your call, but okay, you can still try. Because that's where I spend most of my time, watching random vlogs on internet. But okay. The conditions for rivalry in the industry is applicable to threat of new entrants also. Kind of, yes, they're interlinked. So Michael Porter's, most of the conditions are interlinked, Srinivasan, right? So you can probably say that, but from an exam perspective, stick to that. Wherever they are quoted, stick to that. Don't use them for threat of new entrants. Exam perspective, just stick to the module. But you're right. In practical life, it can have interchanging impact. Third question answer, outbound logistics. The option is correct because optimized outbound logistics will help tech gadgets improve the efficiency of their product distribution, thereby reducing delivery times and enhancing customer satisfaction. Next question on your screen, my friends. Next question is on your screen. Competition catalyst means the person who creates competition. Catalyst is somebody who carries that, who creates that. So catalyst. Competition catalyst means somebody who creates competition. Green cafe question on your screens, my friends. Okay. Already see answers. Very happy and proud of people who are giving the right answers. Do not lose this momentum. Keep revising, keep studying. The exam is not too tough. It's common sense and don't overthink. That's my advice to you. In this exam, please don't overthink. The more you overthink, the worse it becomes for you. The correct answer for this question is option D, marketing and sales. Because enhancing the marketing and sales efforts will help effectively communicate their new sustainable products to the consumers, increasing awareness and driving sales. Marketing and sales. Option D, my friend. Most of you gave D, but some of you gave C as well. So that's okay. With that, we are done with the chapter 2 on time. I'll be here for the next 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes for sure. The chat is still open, my friends. Okay, you can go ahead, ask as many questions as you can. Cyclin, you can ask the questions on the BOS app, please. You're not allowed to unmute yourself on Zoom and ask questions, but okay, that's okay as well. So you can probably do that. Ask your questions on the chat. I am live on the chat. I'm reading chat constantly. So that should be okay. You can ask your questions on chat. All answers correct, Nitin. Wonderful. Proud of you. In this session, my PPT says feedback comes under service. Where else does it come in your book? Nistala, please tell me. Just 2, 3 questions. Oh, that's for practice. We're going to do after chapter 3, we have a full-fledged 30-minute exam-oriented exam for you. I don't know if you guys haven't seen my sessions earlier. I do an exam thing, a full 2-hour exam practice questions also I do. But once we have done some chapters, वरना मजा नहीं आएगा. Unless I mix questions from all the chapters that we have studied, abhi to easy hai. You know the concept, it's fresh in your mind. Once we have done chapter 3, and you have 3 chapters, तीनों chapters के questions mix करके देंगे, then it becomes exam ना. So we'll do that then. It will come. I have more sessions. We have chapter 3, 4, 5 to do. We have 2 exam oriented sessions to do. So we have time. We will do. In SM only case scenarios questions come mostly yes. You should see this year's attempt question paper as well. You'll get to know how the question paper looks. I'll do that as well for you. In one of the sessions, we'll solve a full question paper as well, okay? Prepare notes from your PPT, excellent, but do not miss out on studying study material. Experience curve, you start learning, and then you go down. That's called experience curve. Which means experience curve is basically when you are new, you drive slow, then you start learning when you have learned it. When your learning capacity, when you know something, you become efficient. That's called learning curve. Okay. Learning curve means the more you practice, the better you become at it. That's your learning curve. Okay. Why don't I put CA prefix? I don't know. I just wrote my name. It's not like I don't want to put it, but I just wrote my name very quickly. But next time I'll put my prefix as well. Ibaco is the brand. Okay, somebody's telling me about Ibaco brand. I want to read that. What is Ibaco brand and what strategy are they doing? Okay. Ibaco brand of Arun ice cream, both are same quality, but because Ibaco has a separate ice cream parlor, various, it's got high. So Arun has done a premiumization of its brand called Ibaco. Very nice. That's a good one. I did not know about this. Is it possible to concentrate on only few key success factors? Generally, yes. Procurement examples means buying the right product at the right cost. Okay. Procurement example in support activities, procurement is buying the right product at the right cost, getting it at the right time, my friend. That's really important. That is really important. Right product, right price, right time. तभी आपका business cost cut कर पाएगा. Competitive advantage versus core competency. Classic strategic management question. Competitive advantage and core competency. What's the difference? Who will tell me? Okay. You guys should know this. Who will tell me the difference between competitive advantage versus core competency? What's the difference between competitive advantage and core competency? I want answers from the classroom. Difference between competitive advantage and core competency. SM only case scenarios. We said we'll do the question. Okay. What else we have? Experience curve. The Jasmine experience curve is the more you learn, the more efficient you become. Okay. So agar aaj you start making diyas, you will make 1 or 2 diyas in 1 hour. If you keep making diyas every day, tomorrow you can make 10 diyas in 1 hour, then you can make 20 diyas in 1 hour, then you can make 50 diyas in 1 hour. So your experience curve helps bring more efficiency in production. Okay. That's called experience curve. Prepared notes from the PPT, very nice, but study material पढ़ते रहना. Melody's catchy marketing line, what's the strategy called? It's called marketing strategy only. There's no specific thing we call it as. Competitive advantage is advantage over others. Core competency is the enterprise own strength. Okay. Competitive advantages over external competitors. Core competency is internally. Okay. Let me explain that. Okay. Competitive advantage refers to overall advantage a company has, while core competency refers to the specific abilities or areas of expertise that contribute to that advantage. Hemali, absolute answer I wanted. Everybody's answer was right, but the last statement from Hemali, if I'm calling your name right, okay, that's what the point is. कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी से competitive advantage बनती है. Your core competency helps you create a competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is an advantage over the competitor, something you do better than the competition. How do you do something better than the competition? When you are good at it. If you are really good at it, then you are doing it better than the competition. The thing that you are really good at is called your core competency. आप कोई चीज बहुत अच्छी करते हो, that is your core competency, and that creates an advantage for you over others. That's called your competitive advantage. A core competency leads to a competitive advantage. Okay, that's what Hemali's answer was, and that's absolutely an important line that you cannot miss in the examination, my friend. The answer was right. Competitive advantages over others. Core competency is an internal strength, but core competency leads to a competitive advantage. ये लिखना मत भूलना. Okay. Core competency is where your competitive advantage is, no, competitive advantage is the kind of advantage. So, okay, for example, Apple has a competitive advantage over others because it is really good at innovation. The core competency is innovation, and that creates a competitive advantage over competition, that people prefer you as a brand. Okay, so core competency leads to a competitive advantage, as simple as that. इससे ज़्यादा rocket science नहीं है, यही है maths. ठीक है? Core competency can be innovation, sales, marketing, after sales services, product quality. It can be anything that leads to a competitive advantage over the competition. Awesome. Okay. Super. Explain MCQ4 again. MCQ4. कौन सा MCQ4? Inbound logistics? Or you're talking about the option of marketing and sales? Absolutely. You have to better inform and engage the customers. You will have to go with marketing and sales. The job of marketing and sales is to engage and create awareness with the consumers, right? So it's marketing and sales. Engaging people, creating awareness, telling them what's new, what are we doing, what is a new flavor we are introducing, what is a new product we are introducing, this is a new sale that is coming up, this is the discount we are giving. You have to communicate, engage, tell people. That's marketing and sales. Distributed channel is threat of new entrant, is a barrier to the threat to new entrant. It's not a threat to new entrant, it's a barrier for new entrants, which saves you from new entrants. Okay. Core competency, the cause, competitive advantage, the outcome. Yes, you can say so. Competitive advantage sets a business apart from its competitors. Yes. Core competency areas, expertise. Okay, very nice. Core competency, very nice. Okay. Last 2 minutes. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask. Today, why did you not give us a break? Because, okay, you didn't even need the chat. So That was my motive, and we had to do this today. I did not want to take this chapter to the next class. I wanted to end this today, so we did not take a 10-minute break, but I think it's okay. KSFs, key success factors, factors which will really decide if you will be profitable and successful in your business or not. Key success factors which will tell you whether you'll be successful in your business or not. That is KSF. Okay, thank you, Om. Examples, okay, everybody was giving it, telling it, thank you so much for joining in. For you as well, others who have questions can stay, but for others, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you tomorrow also. We'll start with chapter 3. Examples of driving forces for industry attractiveness. Absolutely, that's what we discussed. Less competition hoga, it'll be attractive, more money, more growth, more opportunity, right? All these are factors which really make a business attractive, right? EV opportunity hai, food business opportunity hai, shoes business opportunity hai. So we could figure out that it's easy to make money here, it becomes attractive. So those factors were telling you that it is easy to make money here. If you feel it's not easy to make money, then that's not an attractive industry. That will probably mean that there will be too many complications for you to drive there. Okay, think we have answered all the questions here. So a big thank you to everyone who joined in. Thank you for being so interactive. Same time tomorrow, we start chapter number 3. Okay, interesting chapter again, internal analysis. We talked about external in this one. We'll talk about ourselves as a business internal starting tomorrow. And after chapter 3, we have a full-fledged question solution session. So we'll look after that as well. So see you tomorrow, same time. We'll start with chapter number 3. Thank you.